Yes, looking forward to being on the One Po Show podcast. Good guy, Poet, man. I've known Poet for a good number of years now.
How long you know Poet?
Must be at least over 10 years. Oh, bro, where is he?
Big man, what's going on? I'm here.
Is he behind there?
Hello? Excuse me, can you let me in? Callum, what is this? You told me come downstairs and wait. What kind of interracial situation is this? How am I locked out and in at the same time, big man? You gotta make up your mind, fam. Hello, man. How are you, my brother?
That entrance is a big anticlimax still.
Massive anticlimax, isn't it? You thought I'd come through dripping in gold. Man's in. No, man. Look at daily people.
I thought you'd be in like a fur jacket or something, boy.
Yeah. Look on Batmobile.
On a throne or something, yeah.
This man coming pissed off. Typical Jamaican woman. Me. Football's crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember me and you playing football back in the day. Jamie Howard was there.
Yeah.
You are the Arsenal fan.
Yeah. You're good at ball as well. Do you know what I like as well, yeah? I like people who know football but can kick ball as well. So, you know, like people who online they talk about football, but then, you know, you play, you're big man, playing isn't for you, innit?
Have you seen Marks? Marks is my guy. I love him.
Do you know what? I once played with Marks once.
What? Marks?
Yeah, we once played in East London somewhere. And do you know what it was? I can't fault him because his fitness weren't there. I've been there. When your fitness ain't there. Yeah. I remember he did not make one guy though.
Mugs?
He mugged.
There has to be footage. Because right now it's the footage game.
I gotta give him credit. He made this guy and he was but you know, after that, he was just like, yeah, I'm done now. I'm done, innit?
That's why I love
I'm
the
done. Yeah.
Look, man. I've been knowing you for a while.
Yeah, for time, man.
For time.
Like for time. Like not just, you know, sometimes when people say, I've known you for ages, but like, from Sunday show, when man had a little skinny chest, pea head, like.
Now that's where I was starting. This is why we got these.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're looking at them thinking, because this isn't the start of that journey.
Yeah.
But these are strawberries. And to my understanding.
Strawberries, ginger beer.
We are in a room where I used to drink alcohol in strawberry rooms.
And
sometimes,
yes. Because I thought strawberry moons, you know. But I thought maybe not.
This is a room. It's a strawberry. Strawberry room. We call it strawberry rooms, but it was strawberry moons.
Oh yeah, because I thought you messed it up there still.
I did.
Because I'm like, big man.
I did. Trying to act like I didn't. I did.
Because I was sitting there like,
wait, that's not the name of
moons. It's strawberry moons.
Where was it before that though?
Before that one was so if I'm right. It first was in Clerkenwell House somewhere. I didn't used to do that one. Jamie Howard used to do that. A few other people used to do that. Then they done it in a Slug and Lettuce.
Do you remember Slug and Lettuce?
Yeah, Slug and Lettuce was like, I think that Slug and Lettuce, that was my introduction to Sunday
I remember
show.
you from Slug and Lettuce. You come downstairs, DJ Slicks at the back.
Yes, that's it.
With the slitting eyebrows.
Yeah.
Still got them now.
Yeah, that's where I first met people like yourselves, DJ Slick there.
Love him.
Everyone used to be there, man. And then Strawberry Moons, it's like, wow, oh my gosh, it's like a nightclub. Because no offense to where we are now, but it's like you come downstairs and it was like, it's like the room, innit? It's just a big room. Strawberry Moons didn't use it as like a room. Where this time, once they went to Strawberry Moons, it was like, there was like a dance floor and a stage and a DJ booth.
I think it was a good move though, because this was the problem.
Yeah.
You had Sunday show.
Yeah.
And you had Kojo Comedy Funhouse.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
It was the first time on a Sunday for the man them.
Yeah.
Come on, we had options.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think especially for that age group that we were, where, you know, like,
please have a drink.
Like for music, let's say for example, like the music at the time was like funky house, innit? That was the vibe.
Yes.
Funky house. Everything was colourful. We was all wearing colourful Vans and beaded necklaces and stuff. But what was really good is like, what I used to like about Corks and the Funhouse thing, it was very hard to get in anyway.
Very.
It's like, whoa, I don't even know if I can get in. So some people couldn't get in there and would come Sunday show.
Okay.
But also, I felt like with Kojo's one, it was a little bit older.
Yeah, it was.
Like, let's say we was like 1920s. Like you had more of like the 27, 8-year-olds.
I was the youngest in there. When I was in there, it was like, I felt like a rude boy because it was hard to get in.
Yeah.
Mama Tunde got us in there.
Yeah, you had to know, maybe if you knew someone that could get you in or you're performing. Like when I first performed there, I was I went with all my friends, innit? Okay. We all still had to pay, but it was like, oh, my boy's performing. Like,
Oh wait, did you have to pay when you were performing as
No,
well?
I didn't pay, but my friends had to pay. But at the same time,
I'm joking.
that was like their way to get in. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for them it was like, right, I'll still pay, but I know I'm gonna get in it.
Of course, you wanted to get in. It was it.
Yeah.
Kojo's Comedy Funhouse and Sunday Show for me were two places that you had to be at. For your Facebook, you had to be there.
Oh yeah, because obviously the next day, it's the pictures and everyone's getting tagged. That was everyone just gets tagged.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
People like Raekwon back in the day. yeah. Big up Ray.
That is old school.
Yeah, because everyone would get tagged, and then you're like, bro, like I need to find
the person.
Yeah, I need to find who's this comic and whatnot. So you go on Facebook, you look for the album, you click through. Oh right, that's my man. That's a comic. Okay, I add my man on Facebook.
Everyone had their Facebook page as well. Like so there was Sunday Show would have their thing.
Yes, yeah.
Let's go into more of the Sunday Show thing because that's the reasons why I came over to Sunday Show. The Kojo thing, I just felt too. I felt like, although it's kind of like sick, it's, loads of things are happening.
Yeah.
Everyone's older than me. If you speak to any girl, way out your league, she's driving a BM, it's all crazy. Like, man, I've got here on the train. It's just, there's nothing for me. Sunday Show was my vibe.
Yeah.
So when I come over to Sunday Show and I see you on stage, I remember thinking, Mo is got this whole room on lock.
Oh, big ups, man. Big ups.
Lock. You can say whatever. You would tell a joke, it wouldn't be funny. You'd be like, I was working on that for time, but you just knew exactly how to do it. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
What was that like? How did you become like almost like that was just your thing? How was that your arena?
Do you know what it was? Yeah, I think at the time I was very fearless, innit? So I had nothing to lose. So it's like.
Where was you working?
I think at that time I was I wasn't working at that time.
So you had no job.
So I was signing on.
Okay, right.
So I was signing on at that time, and then obviously when I'm hosting this show, I'm getting paid like £50. So already I'm like, right, like £50. I can just host and someone's gonna pay me like £50.
To be yourself.
Then, but for me it was like, I can get more. So let me keep being better. How can I keep trying other jokes? And that's what I do because, I was there every Sunday. So then they said, well, cool, like we pay £100. £100 every week, that's £400. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, Marvin Napa.
So
you're blessed in the end.
So for me, that was a big deal because at the same time I'm looking for a job. I just finished uni as well. So obviously I'm like, oh man, I want to try and get a job, like signing on. And we all know what it's like to sign on. You're like, oh, this isn't it. So when I can do now, this is what I love now, innit? I just love making people laugh, doing comedy. I never even see myself as a comedian back then. I was like making people laugh. Yeah. So this is just a vibe where I can.
You were just funny. You were just like, you were a comedian, but you were just funny. Like I didn't really look at you as you were just Mo. Yeah, Mo's too funny.
Yeah, no, thanks, man. I think and what was nice, it was like seeing someone like yourself there, because you were someone that was very prominent within the scene. And it was weird because you hadn't really YouTube was around, but you didn't really you never really met someone, seen someone. You see now.
They're everywhere.
Like for example, someone could go on your Twitter, your Instagram, YouTube, and build their own profile of what they think of you.
Okay.
Whereas back then, it was like, oh, Poet's Corner. Okay, but I'm like, is this guy a poet? But he's not really a poet. He's kind of funny, but okay. And that's all you had. That was the information you had. Because don't forget, before that, it was like old school grime, where you never even seen what Gets looked like, bruv. He was called Ghetto, bruv. You didn't even know what he looked like until you see, oh, right, that's my man. Oh, okay, cool. And when you actually I remember first seeing Skepta. This is MySpace days. And do you remember his MySpace picture back then? He had I think he looked like he had Astros on or something. Do you remember the picture? It was like tracksuit bottoms, but it was like, where man in the hood was just like, man just wearing tracksuit bottoms and a sweatshirt. That was a Nike sweatshirt, tracksuit bottoms.
I just remember MySpace.
And I think he had his tracksuit bottoms tucked in. Correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember. But already, I remember listening to this guy and I'm like, right, that's what he looks like. Okay. But that's all you had. So now, this new generation, Jazzy, the A Squeezies, you might see someone on channel AKA or something. You might see them on YouTube. You might have seen a clip of Jamie Howard from Kojo's Funhouse.
Yeah.
But that was it. Do you see what I'm saying?
100%.
So you have to go and then you see man and you're like, oh, okay, all right. This is where everyone is. Oh, all right, cool. And that was the early, it's almost like before Instagram was Instagram. Do you know what I mean? It was 100. Like, that's what everyone was, where you see people live in the flesh. And we were networking, but we didn't even know we were networking.
Because you know what? It was competitive, and there was the competition. If you wasn't a comedian, you could see it.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe we had that perception purely because of maybe that's how we looked at it. But we felt a competitive nature. And I felt like if you was at, this is no disrespect to anyone, but if you was at Kojo's, so once I saw you do Kojo's, for example, I was like, oh my God, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Kojo's was like the place. If you do Kojo's Comedy Funhouse, you're gone. So I remember even on MTV, Kevin J done Kojo's and everything.
100%.
I'm like, oh my God, Kevin J's gone, Kojo's gone, like even Bubba Twin is over there. All of these people are gone. And then Sunday Show was the place where it just wasn't about comedy because the younger market was there. So that was the cool place. But then for comedy, if you wanted to be the comedian, you went to Kojo's. But
100%.
all around entertainment. So for you, I always thought, how is Mo gonna make that transition? I was always concerned because I thought to myself,
100%.
in Sunday Show, I remember being there where Crep said to Gets something about I left a girl in the state, Florida. That night, it was lit. Everyone had a little clash.
That was when they done the that's when Sunday Show had moved to Sound. So it outgrew Strawberry Moons and went to Sound. So backstory of Sound, it was a nightclub.
Yeah.
But that night it could hold like 750 people.
Now, bro,
that is mad.
I'm there with Vuj. This is
like, think of that now. Like, okay, obviously not with COVID, but if there was a venue in London, this is not a nightclub. This is happening from 7 to 11, and you've got performances from MCs, rappers, poets,
everyone from the scene's there, bro. Everybody's there.
Yeah, there, bro. So
it was like Wiley now. Everybody was there. And I was always thinking, what's Mo gonna do? Because we always used to think, Mo's sick, but he's kind of with Sunday Show. What's
Yeah.
Now, by the time that happens, the scene's bubbling, and you're in that world.
Yes,
You're kind of separate from the comedy thing, and then not that I'm not taking the comedy thing serious, but like Kojo went to America, so they've got hit a bit of a ceiling now, and I'm like, so I'm going back to Sunday Show. Mo, you're still there, absolutely controlling
every week
1 million people. What's that like now? Because now you've got bigger responsibility.
It's weird because it's like, you know what it is with like Hood Fame, is that you're the guy like in the ends, innit? So man will say like you'll be at the barbershop and man will be like, you do that Sunday project. They don't know what the show is. That Sunday project thing, innit?
Strawberry Rooms, right?
I said, yeah. Oh yeah, I think I see that still. Yeah, man. Yeah. Keep doing your thing still. Big up, respect. Or you get the friend said, like, I'm trying to go, like, how can I go? I remember being at Sunday Show, and there was guys that I'd grown up with who, you know, like, these guys don't go out, they don't leave the area. but they will come to Sunday Show.
To do what?
But no, this is the thing, I'll be at Sunday Show. Remember, I'm doing Mr. Comedy Guy. Everyone's always known me. If you've grown up around me, with me, you know I'm the funny guy in it. So when I've kicked the ball, like, man would say, like, nah, you're not going to make it pro, but I reckon you could be a comedian, for example. Yeah. And it's not like they would say I wouldn't make it pro because I wasn't good, but it's like, nah, like, you're funny though, man.
Yeah. They saw your quality.
Thing. Yeah. And then I'll be at Sunday Show and I see certain people like, bro, what are you doing here? You're a bad guy, bruv. No, bro, man, I just want to come out, bro. I just want to see some jokes and vibes, bruv. So for me, it's like, it was weird because, like, I'm performing to my peers. And also performing to people that they're not really even coming out for comedy. But at the same time, they'll still say to me, bruv, I like what you're doing, man. That was funny, bruv. And when I'm getting, it's like, when you're getting those people who are not even coming for comedy, they're coming for girls' vibes and to see what's what's going on here, innit?
To show, man, I'm still out here. I've got the new Pradas. It's lit. I'm here. I remember them. South London will come out. Who's from South London?
Yeah. I got my Gucci belt. Remember when people was tucking in Gucci belts? So, like, for me, then, I'm performing to these people every single week. I'm trying new jokes. I'm using the set. I remember I used to have this joke. I used to run it like every other week. But it used to be smoke there, innit? Yeah. And I'm like, because obviously I know this audience, innit? I know people are burning weed and whatnot, innit? So I'm like, you know them ones where you're high in it and you're billing it up. The road man are laughing. I'm like, yeah. I like the way man's billing it. And I'm proper looking like I can bill it in.
Come on.
Like, you bill it and you get that bit in. So that's the beat. You move that beat, yeah?
They're very relatable.
Yeah, so I'm like, and then you put it in your mouth, you talk with it in your mouth, no. You got a lighter, yeah? You got a lighter. And then there'd be someone in the audience like, give me that. So I'll flick it. Then I always used to say to the technician, man, I was like, when I fling it and I take it in like this, fire off that smoke machine, innit? So I'll be like, you're good. And then all the smoke would...
Yeah.
People used to lose their minds, you know? People used to be like... Wait, no.
Oh, God.
No, blood, that's a proper planned joke.
But that's kind of good because it's almost like you're providing a service indirectly as an escapism for the people that are going through certain problems in the ends.
Oh,
it was
100%.
something to look forward to, Mo.
That's you know what it is?
Sunday show, I need to go.
You know what it is? That's just comedy as a whole. But especially when you perform to your peers, yeah? It was like, the majority of people was going to be nosy. Like, girls were going for guys and guys were going for girls. It was only like £10. Do you know what I mean? But it was a young thing. It was almost like junior jam at a time.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I want to go junior jam. Like, I'm 16. Like, I want to see what it is. But this was just a bit older.
Yeah, 100%.
And obviously, when you're hearing like, oh, like I heard Skepta came this week, or you know, I heard this person. So when you're hearing of all these MCs that are going there, you know, yeah, people from all parts of London coming together as well. And again, people are networking. So the people like myself, comics, meeting rappers and singers, I'm networking, then they're networking. Do you see what I'm saying? And then to be the person who's like, you know, the orchestra of this, you're like, I didn't realize at the time what it was. It's only until most probably when I look back at it now, I'm like, wow, but I was really performing like every single week.
Do you know what's so upsetting about it? It wasn't documented. And people will only now know through stories how integral, I think, Kojo Comedy Funhouse and Sunday Show were. Especially that competitive thing at the start. And then when Sunday Show said, do you know what, Kojo, have the comedy, we're going to take more entertainment and we're going to have all the MCs and all of that.
Yeah.
That to me is so important for the artist who doesn't have a big crowd or doesn't know how to do festivals and all of that. They can come there and build that confidence amongst their people.
And also,
Cone and all of them utilize that.
Also, it was really something for two types of crowds as well. So you might just be like, well, I just want to see the comedy tonight. I just want to go Kojo's and just vibes, have a little glass of wine. And, you know, that's you've got to remember when we were getting older and earning money part-time, you're like, right, I want to get a little rosé, like I got a date and stuff.
Do you know where I'm coming from, my brother?
But like, I always felt like with Sunday Show, that's where like you'll get a batch of guys that will go to that show.
Yeah.
Or a batch of girls that'll be like, rah, like you've all dressed up. Or I remember going to the show and just seeing like 14 guys. Just all that, what we look come for, well, let's come Sunday Show, I just want to see what I want, innit?
And that's when I moved on to the next thing. Because I remember saying, yo, come FilthyFellas, you're too funny. I remember when you had this video of loads of MCs back in the day and you sent it to me and I said, oh my God, this is incredible. And sometimes I get too blown away by something and I don't know. Yeah. I'm too busy trying to figure out where was you? What was you thinking? Yeah. Why did you get that? But then something happens. Because the last one was terrible. Hopefully we can get this one.
Cooperate?
Very close. This is terrible. We got the co-sign.
Oh! How did I not get that one? That's so dumb, man.
Now for me, I remember that era of that co-sign, there was a big talk about co-signs. Everything is like, you don't need this co-sign, you don't need this, you don't need that. And I was thinking to myself, when I saw Drake say something about Mo the Comedian, the first thing that comes into my head is that night at Sunday Show.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm thinking, maybe none of us are ever gonna enjoy what we could have been because of things like this. And then I realized that's just part of the process. It happens everywhere. Like you said, it happens in other clubs as well. And now, someone that everybody would never argue, say this is one of the leading front runners when it comes to pop culture in any capacity, Drake, is bigging up Mo the Comedian.
Yeah, that was a mad stuff.
What happens on that day and moving forward now?
Okay, so random times, I've done the different types of MCs video. I've done a part 1, a part 2. You see with me, yeah.
Why did you even do it?
Bro,
why did you send it to me as well?
You know what it is, yeah? When I done it, I was just about to go to cinema with my girlfriend,
yeah.
And I was just like, I used to, what it is, that idea, I would do stand-up. I would do that in stand-up.
It was too funny.
So I you know, like me as a comic, I can do the one-liners, the gags, but I'd always want to visualize the comedy in it. Yeah. So I really want to immerse people in it. Yeah. So I'd be like, oh, you know what it's like, we used to MC at youth clubs, innit? Yeah. The DJ would run a track. Selector, run me a tracks. So as soon as that comes on, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Then you got the guy who misses the drop. Yeah. I'm gonna do that right there in my 50-minute time. I've got to do comedy in 5 minutes. And again, when I was performing that, doing stand-up, it's like, right, that was it. But it was just like, well, that's it. Okay, I've done it now. I'll do another show. So when I finally filmed it, I would just mess around on Snapchat and this is what I do in stand-up. So it's just like, cool, let's take it and put it on Instagram. and I put my phone on airplane mode, just chilling, eating popcorn, watching a film. I've looked, I'm like, right, shit, this is really blown up. Fucking hell, blood. Okay. And this is at a time where I didn't put out. I wasn't trying to do funny videos. I wasn't trying to do that. That just weren't me.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be a video that people found funny. And I was like, oh, Ro, you lot really like this. Okay, let me do a part 2.
Was it because you didn't know your entry point, do you reckon?
Yeah, part of me, like, I used to be a bit of a purist as well. I used to be like, nah, man, funny videos, you got to be funny on stage. And for me, as I said, I weren't trying to be funny online. I was like, if you want to see the funny, come to a show, like, buy a ticket. But at the same time, people say, well, I don't know you to buy a ticket. How can I don't know you. And that's okay, that's fine. But I think for me, it was like, I was very hesitant of doing the videos because I was like I'm funny on stage. I don't know if I can translate this.
On a video.
Do
you know, this is crazy. Spencer Owen. I said to Spencer, why did you do videos? Because Spencer Owen used to do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I was like, why did you do videos? He goes, poet. I used to go do stand-up comedy to 100 people. I done one video online, I got 1,000 views.
Yeah.
100 people or 1,000 people. And just that logic there just smacked me in my face. I was like,
100%.
oh, shit in a bag and call me John, fam. That is mad.
But the only difference I say to that is I've been in a room and made 100 people laugh their heads off and go, whoa. I don't know what these 1,000 people. I don't know how they're perceiving my comedy. And I think that's the difference. Even when I make videos to this day, yeah, it went viral. I don't know how many people liked it or didn't like it.
You just saw the numbers go up, so he doesn't know
Someone
information.
could have just watched it, left their phone, and it's just clocking a couple more views. I don't know that. And I think that's why I always go back to stand-up is like the rawest. So when I'm touring, I'm in stand-up mode, you can't get better than that. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think that's just the one difference I have. You know, when I look at like young comics now, they're like, yeah, I want to do the TikToks and stuff. And I'm like, if you really want to get out there in the craft, it's telling a joke and no one laughs. Do you know how humbling that is, poet, bro? Oh my gosh.
It's happened to me. It's happened to me a lot. Online, offline, with my girl, by myself. It's nasty, cuz. I've done it one time.
Man.
I've done a stand-up comedy set.
Yeah.
No one laughed for 6 or 7 minutes. So then after that, I dedicated the next 6-7 minutes to cussing someone and everyone laughed. And the money I got paid from the show, I gave it to my cousin. I said, that was embarrassing. So I hear you, it hurts.
Yeah, stand-up is the most humbling experience you can go through. But it also gives you, it gives you thick skin. I've had sets, boom, no one's laughed in it. I'm like, alright, cool, tomorrow's another day. I'll go to a show, the whole room is laughing. The only difference is, I always say is that when you do stand-up, when you're still out there and you're trying to get a name for yourself and stuff, when you're really starting out, it's weird because like the audience don't know who you are, so they don't have any perception.
Nothing.
So they're like, I don't know this guy. Sometimes to the point where I'm not interested in this guy. Who are you, bro? Mo, what? Gilligan? Who's this Irish Muslim guy? Who's this guy, man? So then you start making them laugh. You see it. I see people. All right, it's not bad. And then they laugh. What's harder now is me putting on a show and being like, oh my God, I've seen you on this, I've seen you on that. This is gonna be a great night. And I'm like, this is work in progress. I am trying out new stuff. A lot of this ain't gonna work. Some of it might work. But I think that's what I've found harder. The more success you get, the harder it is, especially in comedy. You know, and also there is that kind of, I've been to comedy shows where there's a huge, big, famous comic on and people are forced laughing. I'm like, come on, it's not that funny.
It's nasty, isn't it?
But people are in the, you know, it's also that, you know, if you bought a ticket and you've waited 3 months, you're just like, bro, I just want to get this out. It's not that funny, but I'm so excited to be here.
That's why I love Jamaicans. We're not on that.
Yeah.
We went to Kevin Hart as a family. We weren't happy. We let him know, but he didn't hear. But in our eyes, we let him know. We're getting out. Everyone, no. My cousins are like, what? This? £50 for this? We're gone, because it's not funny. But you, funny.
Nah, big ups, man.
Funny. And what happened to you, sorry to cut you, is I feel like I should apologise as well, because what you're talking about right now, I think I have to be honest, I was one of the individuals that made that process for you more difficult. Because I think you're so funny. I watched you on, for example, the Big Nasty Show. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's too funny, too funny. Then everything you do has to be of a level. And if it's not, I get disappointed, as if to say, me and you had a big conversation and produced a piece of content.
Yeah.
And it's like that, I mean, how is it dealing with that type of relationship from people where they do have such high expectations of you now?
Yeah.
It is like, yeah, bro, you got to deliver every week. How about that?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, there's also a perception that you must deliver every week. But there's also like, man's got big credentials out here, innit? So as much as people can say, nah, he ain't funny now, bruv. He's the Masked Singer. I'm like, well, I won a BAFTA, innit? So I'm allowed to be not funny for 8 episodes. You know what I mean?
So, credentials is a word that I need to use one day.
No, but it's one of them things. It's like even like let's even like football. Like you might have an off day, but it's like he has won a Ballon d'Or, innit? Like let's not forget that he's still a bad boy player. Yeah. We all have our off days, and we also as fans and supporters want to see the best. And sometimes people who do watch my stuff do challenge me when they're like, oh bro, like, I seen you on that. You didn't seem like you found you were that comfortable. And I'm like, oh, do you know what? That's actually decent constructive criticism. I need to start making myself look more comfortable on TV. How can I? Because don't get me wrong, me being on TV was also a process. Sometimes I was going on to like a panel show and they're like, that's where you got to be funny. My funny don't work like that. I like to be natural funny.
I've clocked that about you because I see Whitney, I see Chike, I see an environment that you recognise so you're comfortable, so being you isn't so difficult.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, that's the thing, you know, I proper respect it.
Poet, you know me where 100% where if I'm vibing with you, I'm being me and I'm just fucking around. 100%. Where if it's like, the thing is, it's different. There's some comics who are great at panel shows. And that's like, get your bag however you secure it, innit? And I'm not saying I'm not great at it, but at the same time, if you judge me based upon that, you need to now also judge me based upon this. So if you're saying, the panel show is not that good, I'm like, all right, cool, fair enough. But got a Netflix special, so do you know what I mean? Like,
there's things happening.
There's a reason why I'm on this panel show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's go back to the Drake thing though, because you know what, I 100% just took that opportunity from. What happens? Because I know what happened for me. I know what I care about me.
So what happened? Yeah, I went to this all-white party. It was somewhere in Central.
Jeez.
So like me and the man then went, and it was mad because
whose all-white party was it?
I can't remember whose it was, but
must have been about 2014, 2015.
This is 2017. 2017.
Late me, boy.
So I've just left, maybe like 3-4 months in, I've just left retail. I'm doing my own small shows, so I'm making a little change here.
Come on.
But I'm not making money like that. I'm just like, like I can buy those shoes, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Hey.
Like, I could go Selfridges in a sale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you be Selfridges in a sale, you know what I mean? You know, you see the crepes and you're like, oh, what are these?
Oh.
Da Vinci's, yeah? I would not buy them. How much? £120. I might buy these, you know?
This is what, all of a sudden it looks a bit better.
You know, yeah, you're like, what, green Balenciagas? How much? Oh, bro, £50.
You know,
I can make it work. I can make it work.
Terrible.
So, and I remember going to this all-white party, and I remember I was running late, and I'm just, when I run late, I'm flustered, because I'm running late, and I think, because it's all-white party, so I remember, I'd never forget, I had my, I was wearing shorts. I was like, I don't want to be on the bus wearing all-white. Nah, man, I don't want to do that. So then, I'm trying to think what crepes I had. I don't think I had any mad. Yeah, I had some common projects. at the time. So I went to common projects. So I thought, what I'll do, I'll wear some Nike shorts and a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
Put the jeans in my bag. I'm going to go H&M, buy a fresh white shirt, take out the jeans, get dressed in H&M, and just put the shorts in like a bag or something in it, yeah? So now...
These are the plans man have to do.
Because you know what it is, yeah? For me, I'm self-conscious when I wear clothes that I don't really normally wear. And now I'm different because I'm at an age where I've wore suits, but I'm still like, wearing all white on a sunny day. Already I'm thinking, on a bus. I was like, bruv, I'm one crease away from this outfit just looking
mad.
Total, didn't it? So I remember I went, I think it was a bank holiday, Sunday. So I've gone to Covent Garden and H&M, and it's a nice little back one, so no one would really see me. Because these times I was still doing some of the videos.
Yeah.
So I'm still like self-conscious of that as well. So I'm just like, oh man, like people recognize me that it's me, because I found that early stage of being recognized a bit trippy, like a bit like, oh right, are you watching me because like, you're a rock band, or do you know what I do? I just found it really a weird time, innit? So I've gone to H&M, I'm outside, and I've been being outside and I'm calling my friends, everyone's inside, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm in the queue, people are looking at me in the queue, oh that's that couple of cans guy, isn't it? I think, I don't know. And I'm just like, oh man, this is just long. I'm in all white, can't get in. I'm trying to look for someone in the queue, like, you know, there's always that one guy in the queue. He's like, well, go on, fam, what you saying, yeah? You getting in yet? Yeah. And then he just goes in, and I'm like, cool. So I'm outside, and weirdly enough, one of the promoters like, Mo, yeah? Yeah, come to you, man. You got your ticket, yeah? I was like, yeah, come. So I'm downstairs. I'm like, cool. I met the man them now. But I'm still a bit flustered and a bit sweaty. And it's weird. One of my friends, like, to get to the bar and get drinks. The reason why I've got to tell you this whole story, because it'll make sense at the end. So to get to the bar, it's packed and it's a sweat box, yeah? Now, they've just hired a hall, so you really do need a table in it. Oh, God. So you can get your own drinks and stuff. So already I'm just like, I ain't got bottle money. And I'm just hot and sweaty. The rave is like, the music was vibes in. I'm not gonna lie, the music was really vibes in. So then I've gone upstairs to just get a bit of reception because it's cooler upstairs, isn't it? I've got maybe 4 or 5 missed calls, yeah? And I'm like, okay, cool, I couldn't get through to no one. Then my boy's in the rave, he's like, yo fam, look at that. So then I've seen the picture of Drake with Gigs at Reading Festival. So I was just like, oh cool, Drake came out at Giggs' show or whatever. Then it says, oh, enjoying this Julie, get a couple of cans with her. I was like, that's mine. that's my thing. And I'm looking at it like, oh, like Giggs posted this. Because Giggs was like, he was commenting on a lot of videos and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, sick, man. Then my friend's like, brother, look who said it. I was like, champagne. Oh, shit. So I'm like, oh, so I've lost my mind now, innit? So I've gone upstairs. I remember going upstairs, weirdly enough, and I went from having, I had 7 missed calls. Then I had 12. Just bare people just trying to get through to me. And I'm just like, oh, right. And then I think Michael Dapper called me because me and Michael at the time, we were both putting out videos. So he was the only one I could share some of these experiences with because he's someone that could also understand it. Yeah. When you're just telling your brethren, you're like, yo, fam, like, Drake just put up my quote on his Instagram. Yeah, that's good for you, cuz. Congratulations. That's mad still. Yeah, man ain't got no electric, so good for yourself, cuz. You know what I mean? Like,
that's selfish perspective from not.
I don't care about that, man.
I've got cousins like they don't care, bro.
I don't care, fam. My fridge is broke and it's hot. I don't care about your joy. You gotta care for your happiness, bro. No. I'll care next week, but right now,
you're on the grind, fam.
Brother, I've got no electric, cuz, and I gotta go work tomorrow, so the hot water's gone. Man's showering cold. That's a real stress, you know, when your hot water goes.
Listen, my hot water went today. I think I'm stress, bro. I can't even think now. Because my whole day's prolonged. I'm like, I gotta go and get that. Oh, forget it, cuz.
You know how I would take that for granted until it is locked off. And I need to go somewhere, and I've got the cold, right? So I'm like, oh man. So I'm flicking it on me because it's cold, innit? So I'll flick the cold on me now, and I've got the soap. Bro, I'm cold showering, yeah? And you're like, hey. It's not a vibe, man.
Me and my missus are watching the show where people are going abroad to like marry girls in next countries, fam.
Yeah.
One Don's gone, I think. Where did they go, babe? Is it Indonesia or something? He's having a shower outside. And he's like, oh, can we just get a hotel? Because I'm saying, the cold shower thing, for me, is never an option.
In a nice hot tropical country, where you're like, oh, it's so hot, I'll have a nice cold to cool off.
Nah.
No, it's not even.
It has to be cool, a cool shower. It can't just, because it's too mad. I'm just not used to that ice cold warm.
Yeah, no, definitely not ice cold, but I know what you're saying. Like,
do you know what I mean? Just give me a cool vibe and then, right.
100%.
Don't wake me up, I'm already awake. But yeah, the Drake, so now that's happened with Drake.
That's happened now. And yeah, like I remember speaking to Michael and I was like, oh, it's mad. And then it's so mad. My perspective was just like, what was I worrying about? Wearing all white and all this. Like, I didn't want to wear all white. I didn't want to turn. I was like, everything, all those worries and misconceptions and insecurities I had just went out the window. And I was like, I'm just going to enjoy. Because I really want to enjoy this moment. This doesn't happen to everybody. And then I think Fader, you know the Fader magazine? Yeah. They've done like a small little quote on it. People was retweeting it and stuff. It just felt really nice. Like, that's the one way I could describe it. For some people, they'd be like, oh, this is Drake though, innit? I'm like, yeah, but he didn't need to do that. Yes, okay, he didn't put, I don't want a picture. That's my quote. That happened. I was doing that video on the balcony in my mum's house, just messing around. And for someone to minimalize your joys and say, yeah, boy, this is a minor, innit? It's like, brother, man said that in the balcony in my mum's house in Peckham, innit? And one of the biggest superstars in the world just said it. Like, so yeah, it was huge, man.
But that's the two things. My dad said to me, no matter how good or bad your day you think your day is going, the thing you love has the power to ruin it or make it better.
Yeah.
No matter how you think your day is going, you don't own it because the thing that you love has the power to alter it. And my dad says children isolate in situations and adults look at the chain of events.
Yeah.
So I might have even been guilty of isolating incidents in life, but that Drake Cody view, I couldn't isolate it. Because the first thing that came to my mind was that night where I was dodging a bottle, a can, a couple of cans, Julie at the same time. So I remember that night, and then I see that, and I'm like, do you know what? Without understanding the journey, you don't even know what that means. It's just another picture on Instagram to you, I get it. But to the person, there's a chain of events where they thought, I can give up there, I can give up there. They never kept... And then someone that all of us listen to, whether we like it or bloody not, has just taken that time in his day to promote someone he doesn't know. Doesn't make him any... How is that going to make you feel? Well, here we are, 2021, and bro, the best thing I can say off the back of this is what you are dealing with now.
Set.
This game is terrible that I'm playing because I think my art is terrible. I got an A-.
That's a cigarette. Is that cigarette spliff?
A cigarette, bud. So now we got budgets because my man, the money you're working with right now, when I see the Mo Gilligan show, that budget there, I say, yo, I want this.
that is
terrible. It's terrible. Can we leave it? Why are you still here? Why, I'm giving you praise here. Eat a strawberry. Strawberry room. Forget the moon.
No, big ups, man.
Because when I listened to Big Nasty say, not how bad this was, but the budget for his show, ignorantly I watched TV, I say, the man are gone. That's what I was when I was younger. Then I got into it and I was like, raw, the budgets are mad small sometimes. Like, raw, like more money's going into production than him. Raw, you might walk away with hardly anything. In your journey, you've just shown me in the rave, Drake said that. Now you're going to television budgets.
Yeah.
What was your knowledge of it going into it? And what did you think when you was actually within the situation come the Big Nasty show?
So when the Big Nasty show happened, so how it even all happened is I was doing this small...
One sec, how bad is this on a scale of 1 to 10? It's like 10's really bad. Is this like 11?
Yeah, that's bad still.
Yeah, thank you. Carry on.
Yeah.
Don't laugh, Callum.
It's a lot, yeah, that's bad still.
Yeah, isn't it?
I'm trying to really give you the benefit of that, but I thought it was a split first.
So I thought it was a split, but I drew it.
Yeah. But you know what? Everyone, look, man.
My parents.
Everyone's got to start somewhere, innit?
Oh, innit? Oh, sorry. Back to. So yeah, where are you now in your mind of thinking about television budgets before you got the Big Nasty situation?
So with the whole Big Nasty situation, that happened with me going into Channel 4. I had a meeting with them. I've been doing this small. It was like a pilot. So I was kind of going in there, just meeting some of the guys, trying to develop this idea that we had. Funnily enough, the idea that we had, we took it to BBC Three at the time. It's like a small little treatment that I wrote up, filmed it, got a little bit of money to film it. And BBC Three said it just weren't for them. And I was like, cool, no worries. So the production company that we worked with, we kept developing it. It changed, met Channel 4. There's, why don't we do this? And why don't we try and do that with it? And just like anything, this is how development works within TV. Takes long, it's a bit of a painstaking process, but you just keep going. You know, the guys at 4, and this is at the time when I was doing my tour as well. So when I was doing the tour, like I'm doing like numbers, innit? Like tickets are selling out in like 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
I remember.
And as soon as the tickets were going on, and people thought it was a hoax. People was like, he ain't selling them tickets. I'm like, brother, there's no tickets. There is no seat left. You can come, but you have to stand. And people think, no, like, whatever, man. And until I started putting the videos, when I say get a couple, oh, okay, oh, it really is. It's okay. So as I'm doing these shows, a lot of people from TV were coming to come and check out the shows. Went into Channel 4. Saida at Channel 4 said, look, we think you're amazing. We love what you do. And you're a huge talent. Yeah, big up Saida, man. Good peoples, man. And I really want to give you a show on Channel 4. Like your own entertainment show, 10 o'clock. And we've also got this project happening with Big Nasty as well. We're doing a Big Nasty show. That's going to obviously get off the ground first, but we want to use the time to also develop yourself to understand how TV works. So just a backstory from your question is when I did start, going on to the Big Nasty show to understand how TV worked, of like, okay, cool, what's your job? You're a runner. Okay, cool, you're a producer, director. Okay,
Wow.
exec. That's your job. So you really need to understand what everyone's roles is before you even look at budgets.
But so that was the best part. You learned about the mechanics of everything, so you could see where all the money went in the budget in the first place.
Do you know what it is? You see with a show, it's like, I'd never be fixated on the budget of a show. I'd never be like, what's the budget? What's the money? What are we talking about? It's like, what can we do for the show? That's the budget. So can I have a stylist? There's no money for a stylist. Okay, cool. I've just got to get my own stuff. That's all right. That's fine. But the minute you can be like, okay, I can get a stylist. I can start kind of getting. Can we get a band? Can we afford that? Then you start understanding what you can and can't do when it comes to budgets. I would never be able to give you a figure of whatever show I've done in terms of that's how much for that it costs that. But it's what you're allowed to do on the show where you're like, okay, cool, we can film this on these kind of cameras. We're hiring these big 8K Blackmagic cameras, for an example. Cool, these are proper cameras that we're going to be filming on. So that lets me know if we're filming a sketch, these are proper sketches that we're going to do. So it's all those things that I would pick up, when I'm sitting there doing a sketch, I'm like, oh, Rob, what cameras are these? Oh, okay, cool, C200s. Oh, okay, cool. So what do they film on? 4K. Okay, cool. It just lets me know and I just absorb it. So it lets me know like what we are hiring. Like, because I'm sitting there like, I got a bridge that can film this. They're like, oh, no. Yeah. Oh, no. We're going to film it on this and do that. We've got to get a production coordinator. We've got to get a location person. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. This is proper stuff. This is the proper stuff that we're doing. So I'll be honest, I've never ever known any of the budgets. But for me, it's like I use like doing shows of like, so what can we do? What can't we do? So for my show, the latest show, I had to make a statement. I'm one of the first black comics to get a show in like 20 years. The last person was like Richard Blackwood.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, 100%. It was a Bad Boy show, man.
Him and Ian Wright around the same time?
Yeah, bro, the Ian Wright thing on ITV. So obviously, that I understand like...
That's mad.
Like...
You're in that conversation.
You know what it is, yeah? I only really clocked that like last year, that I was one of the first black comics after 20 years to get a TV show. So there's a part of me that feels like, wow, oh my gosh. But there's a part of me that's like, oh my gosh, all right, cool. I've got the weight of the black community on my shoulders. So I've got to really represent my community. I've got to give them a show that they can sit there and support me, but also be like, yeah, man, that's Mo, man. He's doing his thing, man.
What's the name of the band that you got?
So we had the Composers. Yeah. Bad Boys, man.
I love them, man.
But that's what I'm saying. From when I got this idea to have a show, there was no other people. I said, we need the Composers.
They're cold, bro.
We need them. I've seen them live, sick. So already I'm planning stuff of like, cool, we got the Composers. We got a band over there. We might even get a little DJ as well. Why have we got a DJ in a band? Why not? This is my show. I'm here. You know what? What can we do with the floor? I remember we had this conversation with big up Ben and Rianne. We're sitting there, we're like, what can we do with the floor? And I was like, why don't we just have like a big screen or something on the floor? Like a big screen. So when we throw to like, this is the clip of you. We all look at the floor. Just to have and we can do stuff with it, do games with it. We have an aerial view of, just to do it. Because it's a statement to say, oh, this is big. Because everyone thought I was going to do a sketch show. Because I'd been putting out sketches, Roadman, a couple of cans. Everyone just thought he's going to do a sketch show. And I can see why you would. But having this chance to be in the same realm of like the Graham Nortons and the Jonathan Rosses, that's like, whoa, that doesn't happen for everybody. Do you see what I'm saying? Sketch shows, yes, they might come and go, but to have a shiny floor show and be a black man representing my community on that show, I said, I can't not do this. Do you know what I mean?
Bro.
And really, in a way, like bring the man them in. Especially when I was doing Big Nasty, it was so sick to see how Nasty was bringing everyone in. Do you see what I'm saying?
He's like that though,
He's
man.
bringing everyone in. He's got his bridging. Like what I love about Nasty, he's like, yeah, I know one sick guy. Like we might have a sketch. I know one sick guy who does like a Ryu Ken type. Yeah, we get him in, and he was just getting all these people and stuff. So from being part of that show, I was looking at stuff like, yeah, man, yeah, that's it, man. That's how you do it. So obviously you have the composers. I've got my friends to do the behind the scenes exclusive footage that will sit on YouTube. I've got, whoever I could really bring in, but it's bring him in and get a credit on TV as well.
You're doing it the right way,
so it's making sure like, yeah, these people need to get a credit. But then it's also like, well, you do something about a production company because I've got all this IP, intellectual property. So I'm like, cool, like how can we, like, this is my baby, innit? So I really want to be part of this. So I go to the writer's room, I ask, what does the set look like? Can we change this? How about, that's how much I had to invest in it, because if you don't do that, you're just hired talent. You're just a person who's a hired talent, and as quick as you come is as quick as you can go.
And no, that's not what you, and this is what, it's weird. This is what I always say to people, like, because we've done it for so long, the conventional route that people see, we never had that route as an option. So you know that sort of I went drama school and I saw the way they used to do it. They would have this, like the Disney Channel done an audition one time. They just go everywhere in London and get the most charismatic, I mean this in the nicest way, non-black people to stand in a room and it's like, oh my God, what's your name? My name's Million. And I remember sitting there saying, cuz like, I'm going back to the man them to kick ball. We're going to get like a hair plait. Like, we live a different life. That entry point is not viable for us.
100%.
Cool.
Man.
Our entry point isn't talent. Our entry point is with the producer, with the editor sometimes, with the like we got a team of two. One pose done by me and him. So when you're from that world and then you go to the television world and you just got a bit, I don't think you could ever have done that.
Yeah,
not with the amount of things that you've done.
I think for me as well, I understood that this show will take a bit of time. So there was a part of me that said, you know what? He was like, we put it at Christmas. But then I was like, putting me out at that show in Christmas would not have helped, because I was at a stage where the wider public didn't know who I was. And those things make sense as well, because you can be chucked in at the deep end when you're not ready. And then when it doesn't work, they're like, well, it didn't work. We tried and it didn't work. So it was making sure we got the timing right. So that's working with the channel as well. That's with the production companies, with myself. Also balancing the tour, because I'm like, well, I've got to make an income while we kind of do this show and stuff. So I'm still touring at the time. And just, as I said, like, I'm getting small little bits here on TV and stuff. Just shows where it's just like, why not? Why not do that show? Because I couldn't let the stereotype be, okay, black guy on TV, okay, why can't I do Bake Off? Why not? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's making sure.
If you want to do it, though, isn't it? If you want to do it,
but the thing is, at the same time, it's like, oh, do you know, that feels like a bit of a laugh. I'll do some Bake Off. I'll cook some cakes, some biscuits.
I hear you.
But it's almost like, well, why not? Because we can't always look at us on TV of like, oh, on TV, how I see black people is Top Boy, doing the roadman, doing the gangster, entertainment. Whoa, I'm the rap. Like, no, it's like, man can bake as well, innit? Man can have a fun time and be baking and be myself. And I think that's why it was really important to really use like that early opportunity to have fun with a lot of those shows. Like obviously I only use Bake Off as an example, but you know, it's just doing small shows, understanding how TV works, you know, how you look in the edit. These are all these things where if you're sitting there on a panel show and you're just, well, you're not gonna make no cuts.
Nothing.
If you're not, look, that's why every show I was doing, I was like, I'm so happy to be here. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'll have a little drink, enjoy myself. I don't know how funny I'm gonna be. This audience, remember, this is a TV audience. They don't know who I am. Yeah. And I'm like, that's cool. But I'm here and I'm gonna enjoy myself.
But you know what? One thing you have, this is one thing I always say to people when they go on television, the advantage that you have. I think in popular culture, and this is no respect, if you're white in popular culture, unless you got some heritage or some history behind you, you're not going to have much support because there's loads of people to support.
Yeah, 100%.
When it comes to brothers, there's not much of us.
Yeah.
So if you go on a panel show, maybe Middle England has to thinks you have to be funny. But I guarantee you, my household doesn't think you have to be funny. You cannot be funny, and we will laugh like it's the funniest thing because there's only one of you, and you're for us, so we're supporting. And that's 100%. The advantage I think loads of people have that they never realise when they're from a working class or from this type of background. Vuj will have it if he went on television. He's Serbian, so as much as everyone might go, oh, these people don't know him, but no one in Serbia knows you lot. So he has all of that backing, which makes him stronger. And I think, as well as your talent, that's one thing that you have. And you do it so well. Like I said, I see Whitney wearing a Newcastle top, but whatever it is. And it made me happy. Baba Tunde is another person I want to touch on.
Yeah.
The amount of work I see you recently doing with Baba Tunde.
Yeah.
First of all, why? Why Baba Tunde?
Do you know what it was with Baba Tunde? Yeah, it's because when I was doing comedy, I remember watching Baba Tunde. I think it was on, I can't remember what DVD it was, but I remember watching him on like a DVD and then seeing a video of him on like Corks, and I was like, "Right, this guy's sick." And then finding out, I'm like, "Right, he's like my age. He's like a year older than me, right, boy." But he was cold. He was so sick. And whenever I do small shows, you know, I do shows. I've got a good friend called Marvin in Manchester. He puts on a lot of comedy shows up there. And he's always like, "Oh, like, yo, man, I need some comedians. Who should I get? I'm like, you gotta get Baba Tunde, bro. He's a killer, bro. Baba Tunde smashed the show. I remember, like, Baba Tunde used to be one of them comedians I used to watch and be excited to watch. Because we drive like 3 hours to get there. Me, him, K Kurd, and a bunch of other comics.
Oh, shout out K Kurd.
We drive there, busting jokes. So I'm like, I can't wait to watch you now, innit? So for me, I remember speaking to Baba Tunde, and it was weird because I felt like I was seeing myself at times where for stand-up, it's very easy to lose your confidence and your joy for making people laugh. Because there's times where you can make people laugh and I'm not in a joyous place right now. So I'm in a place where I'm like, I ain't really feeling, but I'll make you lot laugh. I'll go home and I'll just go and be depressed at home. But and that's okay. But at the same time,
well, it's not, but hey.
No, do you know what it is? I think it's okay in the sense of like, look, I want to go out there and make people laugh. Because there's times that I felt low. I'll go and do some comedy and it makes me feel better.
Oh,
yeah. So there's times like, you know, I feel much better about myself. Yeah. I make people laugh. I feel better about myself. But at the same time, I'm like, I know next week I'll feel low. But it's just a process that you just got to kind of learn to deal with as such. And you don't know you're depressed. You're just like, I'm just going through the motions. And I think a lot of creatives suffer with that. Yeah. Where you're like, right, like, I'm putting out all this stuff for you guys, but I don't really want to do it right now. But I know you guys like it, and I'm just gonna make you look happy. But I'm gonna just go with it. I'm just gonna keep going with this, whatever how I'm feeling, and just keep it to myself and just crack on with it, kind of thing. And people, you know, use it in different ways. Some people say, I'm just gonna stop. Whereas for me, it was that I keep going because I understand that people like what I do. It changes their mind, their mood. But right now, cool. You lot just get the content. I'll just kind of crack on with working on myself.
You're a fighter, fam.
But for me, Baba Tunde, I remember just speaking to him and he's like, I just lost my joy for comedy. And I was like, nah, man, you're good, you're funny. And the world needs to see how funny you are. So, as I said, with any opportunity I can get, I want to bring in people that I've always worked with, or vibes with, friends. If there's anything where I can be like doing the tour, you know, around the time doing the tour, me and K Kurd were doing bare shows. He'd be driving, because I wasn't driving those times, he'd be driving. So when I got the tour, when I went to Live Nation, they said, yeah, we're going to do a tour. Do it at Live Nation, put tickets out next week. Kay was working in Apple.
I remember.
This was 2017. I went into Apple. I said, bruv, I'm doing a tour, bruv. He's like, oh, sick. I said, bruv, I want you to support the thing. He's like, yeah, cool. Supported all the dates. So we was on tour for 18 months. And yeah, like I had him at almost every other show. The only show he couldn't do, I think, was other dates he had with other like comedy shows and stuff. But he done pretty much every show of the tour. And I was like, that's who I've been gigging with. So it just made sense. So when Baba Tunde, I was speaking to him, done my podcast. And again, with this new tour that we're doing, There's More to Life, I just like Baba Tunde. He's a good vibe. I would like to be around nice people as well. Amazing. So I was like, bruv, I really want you to support my tour. Would you be up for that? He was like, yeah, of course, man. And I felt honoured because I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan. I'm not trying to get someone to be my support and be like, I was like, dude, this isn't about like, yeah, you make them laugh and hype them up for me. I'm like, no, bro, go out there and really like get this audience, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, 100%. Go and get these fans, get these people to come and follow you and watch what you do. That was purely what it's about with Kate. Of just like, bro, come on, man, we're funny, man. Let's do this together. Same with Baba Tunde. And then when obviously had the opportunity to do Gogglebox, it was like, well, yeah, like Baba Tunde support me on tour. It just makes sense. It's a no-brainer to have him on the show. Do you know what I'm saying? On Gogglebox. And that's literally what it is. So if I can find ways to bring in people, you know, sometimes you'd be like, oh, there's this cool advert and we get this celebrity to pop in and stuff. I'm like, he's a lovely guy, but I don't know this guy. It's just going to be fake. Yeah. Why don't I just get my real friends to just be the people in the Coca-Cola advert?
It makes sense.
Like Whitney, Zach, Stefan, you know, why don't I just get them to be in the Coca-Cola advert? And that's just, that I think for me, that's that is just one thing I always want to, like, if I can bring people in, I will do it, but I'll always do it in the right way. So my friend Stefan, he styles me. He's like, bruv, I want to get into styling. How do I do it? I said, bruv, we'll just work together. Like, you'll learn on the job, I'll learn on the job. Let's do it. Now he styles me for the Masked Singer. That's what it's about. Bringing people in, but doing it in a proper way where it's like, yeah, man, like, you know, he done some styling for Dr. Cosmic. You know, when Crept had his baby recently.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the announcement kind of thing. Yeah, so like, you know, he styled a couple of people. I think it was K-Trap and some other people and stuff. And now that's what it is. That's what it's about. It's like, use this opportunity the best that you can. And that's it, man. Go get your clients, bro. That's how it should be. Not no, you're my personal stylist. You can't style this, man.
Go into the world and do
just style bare people, bro. Just what I'm saying, bro.
Going back to Baba, do you know why I always felt bad about Baba? Because he built the dream in so much of us.
Yeah.
17-year-old Baba Tunde took all of us to Cork's Wine Bar for Kojo's Comedy Funhouse. And he stood on stage as a 17-year-old boy. He shouldn't have been in there because it was 18 plus, but that's a conversation for another time. And we all sat in there and we watched him on stage. And by the end of it, he had the whole of the venue at his feet.
Yeah, 100%.
And we couldn't believe it. And Kojo was really big in comedy at the time for UK comedy, and Kojo loved him, and then Richard Blackwood loved Baba Tunde. Made all of us go, and then Baba Tunde took us to go and watch Dave Chappelle live, and I could have touched Dave Chappelle. He was so close. And he really built a dream in the man. He really built a dream. So when I spoke to him and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm kind of done with it." Dude.
He said something similar.
I was broken because I was like, "How can you give man the fire and disappear like you kept the fire burning in so much of us?" So when I saw him doing the work with you, it was just like, from now on I'm just going to trust God, because he just needed a bit of time out. Maybe doing it from 17 years old throughout is a bit exhausting.
You know, I think with Baba Tunde, the best way I can describe it is that, like, he just needed a kickstart. That's all it is. Just put the things on the car. You just need that little boost. And I'm so glad now that, especially when we're doing Gogglebox and stuff, he's someone I just like being around, innit? So when we're doing Gogglebox, bruv, you know what it's like when you're with a man, and that's what I hope when you're watching us on Gogglebox, it's just us, bruv. There's no like, let's do that joke again. We're just like, okay, cool, like let's vibes, innit?
Let's just do whatever we gotta do.
Sometimes you're like, can you say that again? Nah, it's not gonna bang, It's not gonna bang if you do it again.
I really hate them ones, when they try and it's just the old way of marketing. Shout out the new school dons.
But I'm really happy that he's, because he's got the same management and stuff. And I spoke to my manager, and I think what it is with management as well, especially my managers, the reason why I speak about them in such high regard, because they've helped develop me. And I think that's what someone like I kind of thought that Baba Tunde needed. It's like, you need that boost and a little bit of development.
Bit of love, man. We all need a bit of love, man. Sometimes you have all the answers. I think every individual that is creative, everyone that's born has a talent, and we all have it. But if no one is there to nurture it or guide it, because you're still a human, you still go through mad emotions.
100%.
There's no one there to just help you and go, don't forget about what's most important. Life will make you forget about what's most important. So if you don't have someone that is managing that part of you, I do agree. You'll just end up doing what Baba Tunde said to me. Which, broke my heart, fam. I was like, bro, you're a fantastic father, fantastic husband, a great friend, but you're also a great comic. So the moment you just discredit that for the other three, it's like the other three will gain in value from you being a great comic as well. So don't discredit that. But he's back, so that's good. But I have to pick up my children. I have to watch Arsenal. So I have to leave. Mo, can't lie, bro. I'm glad I caught up with you, fam.
Nah, do you know what, Poet? It's been a pleasure. And it's so fun talking about things like Sunday show, because sometimes I think it's weird that, as I said, within our journeys, it's like, that's where I met you, where it's pure. There's no preconception. Never met you. It's like, sometimes like you must meet people that met you now and be like, I grew up watching you as a teenager, man. And like, you're actually a nice guy. And you're like, there's no I met you as just you, innit?
It's so beautiful. Do you know the worst thing about this? You said that the hood celebrity, I've had that for a little while, innit? So everyone within the world, I've always sort of known me. So people I can't even remember the last time I met someone in my community who just didn't have a preconceived, and you could just walk on, who are you? And it's always, that's that poet guy, There's always something horrible, but nice at the same time.
100%, bro. But no, honestly, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun, bro. Like, talk about some of them things. I was like, Rob, Oh, right, yeah, I remember that. That was, yeah.
Mad,
yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
Look, like, share, subscribe, or don't. Honestly, it doesn't change anything in life. You're still going to be locked in your house and you can't go nowhere. So just watch it again, innit, bruv? There's nothing else to do. Goodbye. Love you. Shout out Filthy Fellas all day.
Yes. Looking forward to being on the One Po Show podcast. Good guy, Poet, man. I've known Poet for a good number of years now.
How long you know Poet?
Ah, must be at least over 10 years. Oh, right, where is he?
Big man, what's going on? I'm here.
Is he behind there?
Hello? Excuse me, can you let me in? Callum, what is this? You told me to come downstairs and wait. What kind of interracial situation is this? How am I locked out and in at the same time, big man? You gotta make up your mind, fam. Hello, man. How are you, my brother?
That entrance is a big anticlimax still.
Massive anticlimax, isn't it? You thought I'd come through dripping in gold. Man's in. No, man. Look at daily people.
I thought you'd be in like a fur jacket or something, boy.
Yeah. Look at Batmobile.
On a throne or something, yeah.
This man coming pissed off. Typical Jamaican woman. Me.